Hey guys, how are you? Hello. Hey everybody. Okay, let me do an alert. Okay, let me also drop this link too while I'm at it. Hopefully this goes through. Okay, if you don't follow on Patreon, whatever level, click that link and the document that we're going to read is in there. If you haven't, I feel like if you were on the YouTube streets yesterday or following this topic, you probably already saw it. Maybe there were still people in my comments that were like, Fran, are you coming to read this? So I don't know. But I know I told you guys that I would read it to you guys. When I dropped a comment yesterday and said that Ernell Winfrey had dropped a document and it was disgusting and I'd be back to read it. I was like, some of this stuff gets really, it can just be draining. So yesterday I just kind of took a little mental health break from some of this and I wanted to watch something and I just never ended up getting around to it. But I did take like a 24-hour kind of like Nesto break because this man has been so much in the shits. He's just done so much. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, there was something like right after we got offline, there was a filing. And Ernell Winfrey had filed a couple of documents. If you follow me on Patreon, and you already have a membership in my Patreon, you already have it. I dropped a post already with both documents. If you don't follow or you are a free member, meaning free and you don't pay for membership, I did a free post. But you just have to register for a free member and you'll have the post. You'll be able to read it, download it, whatever you want to do. And it's redacted. So, um, and it's got the police report in it now. Um, and that's the link that I just dropped. Okay. So that's that. I think I also put it in the description box. Maybe I think I did. If I didn't, I'm sure someone will let me know, but it's here and I'm getting ready to go pin it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Only me, 23. Thank you, hun. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. And it looks like Aaliyah TV. Okay, Aaliyah TV. Girl. Okay. So, let me see. Patreon. Okay, there we go. Let me pin it. So up top is so follow me on Patreon. And also what I'm gonna say too is I'm getting ready to drop the link to this video. And it's just another alert. I don't do it every time, but I try to do it, especially now since we're at a time where it just seems like notifications are not what they used to be. So, all right. If you follow me on Patreon, I just dropped a quip and like a quip notification. So you might have just gotten a notification with the YouTube link. So there we go. Okay. All right. All right. And if you are a free member, just know that this document is there if you want to see it and read it. Now, I'm going to do this because I said I was. I'm not thrilled about reading it. I'm going to be honest with you. Because it includes it includes crimes against nature. I'm going to say it like that. And it also includes grape. It's just awful. It's just awful. So, hold on a second. Why can I? Oh, you know what? Hold on. I felt like I could hear something in my headphones, and now I know why. Okay. All right. My other headphones were still on, and I was like, and my microphone, you know what I mean? Microphones search for sound. Even though the volume was really low, it was picking up in my microphone coming through my headphones. And I'm like, what is that noise? It, you know how when you wear headphones, it's almost like you could hear everything because it's all amplified through the microphone in your headphones. So anyway, okay. Only Me 23 gifted Aaliyah TV. Aaliyah TV, enjoy. I'm listening and in the work bushes. Okay. All right. We're going to get into it. Someone just hit like. So I know you guys are getting the alerts. Okay. Guys, let's just get into it. I told you that I wanted to read the rest of the April Thompson indictment to you. I don't know if we'll do it in this live. I kind of almost want to just leave this as a standalone because I almost feel like my YouTube is always turned up so sensitive. I don't think that this is going to pass YouTube. I don't think this is going to pass scrutiny, but we'll see. So we're going to just get into it. I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm going to read the narrative the best way I can, but it makes me so uncomfortable. But again, this is stuff that we heard. If you're new to this case, you might not know all of this. But I'm sure if you deep dive, want to get into it, you will find all about it. There's someone who just became a Patreon member. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me just tell you also, for the person who just did that, it was a free download for if you wanted to, if you had wanted to, but I'm assuming you opted in, and I appreciate that. Um, in the Nesto folder, it's like almost every single Nesto document from like the last 2-3 years is in there. I may be missing some, and I do have to maybe I have like 10 or 12 to upload. But for the most part, almost everything is in there regarding the cases, police reports, all of the things. It's like a whole repository if you're following the Nesto case. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Oftentimes, when I can't find something, I'll refer back to my Patreon file just because I know I posted it in there. So it's a good resource if you're following and you like the deep dive of it all and all the things. And these two documents are no different. One document was kind of just like a procedural. We're getting ready to file discovery. We want to resolve evidentiary issues, all of this. And I know that Pam was live yesterday and went through these documents. So if you missed Pam, the Law Intellects live, I mean, definitely go check out Pam's channel. She went through these two sets of documents top to bottom. So if you want to hear like the top to bottom explanation, you can get that from there. And what I'm going to tell you is this. Again, like I said, this one is really more procedural. Reservation of rights pertaining to discovery, trial brief pertaining to anticipated evidentiary and procedural issues, motion to resolve evidentiary issues. This is kind of like a standard consolidated filing of motions that this case, even though this case is just as old as the other ones almost, this is a new indictment. It's the re-indictment, so to speak, and there really isn't a lot of filings in this particular case at all. This is the Ernell Winfrey case, the SA case, and the CSAM child sexual abuse material, and I'm going to refer to it as CSAM. That's what is comprised of the Ernell Winfrey case. So these are like initial filings. So this seemed to be kind of like a generic templated filing of just standard motions and just getting the ball rolling and opening up the case, and setting their rules of their ground rules, or what their level setting their expectations from a standpoint of sharing information, discovery, Brady issues, all of those things. That's what this is. And if you're curious about it, it's in the Patreon. Okay, just hit that link. This other one is the one that I think everybody is talking about, which was the state's motion for the introduction of other acts, evidence pursuant to OCGA 244404, 244413, and 244403, and request for pre-trial hearing. So she's asking Judge Dunaway, like, can we meet? So, because every time she's on the calendar, and if you've noticed this or not, every time Ernell Winfrey has been on the calendar, it's always with the other case, the RICO case with Wooten. But she's asking for some FaceTime, but what it sounds like to me and what it sounds like yesterday is that he wants to deal with the RICO, and that's what he wants to deal with first, and that's what's taking precedence, and nothing is coming before that. Hello, Dennis. Okay, let me say hi to who got here first. Are we all clear? We got that? Okay. All right. Okay. Irie, IT Babe. Hey, IT Babe. And Katie Chaotic. Is that right? Okay. Katie Chaotic. Thank you, gangsters. Thank you for getting here first. You guys, I dropped the link to my Patreon. Go get into it. If you want this document in your list of docs, it'll be a free download for you. You will have to deal with my redactions on it. But I didn't want to put it out with people's names and information on it. If you want it unredacted, then go to Fulton County and set yourself up, and you can go ahead and download it direct from Fulton County. Typically, I don't like to put stuff out with personal information because we don't know if her email address is still the same, phone numbers could be the same, addresses could still be the same, and you know what I mean? So I'm sure you guys would feel the same way, even though we all know legal proceedings are public and this is all open to the public, and I get it. I just am not going to distribute it like that. So for the free download, where I posted it, it does have some redactions in it on the personal information side. Okay. So just to have that level set that expectation. Okay. So I'm going to skip some parts because I feel like some of you guys have already heard this, but we'll just get to it. And I know some of you guys have not. And I think I'm going to my assumption is people want to know the details of like what are the allegations against Nesto, because everybody has not heard this. Okay. And again, if you want to hear it, if you want to read this document in its totality, click on the link and get into it. It's free. Just register as a free member on my Patreon. Okay. And that's it. So yes, we're going to say trigger warning, but I'm going to say this. If you are over here, you should be over 18. YouTube tells you that you maybe should even be over 21, but this is adult conversation. This is a channel that focuses primarily on news and hot topics and crimes that could be happening in your neck of the woods or across the country. So this is, we talk about the news and we talk about criminal cases. So that being said, if you are sensitive to hearing about sensitive topics, this might not be a live for you. So just be forewarned. And but this is real life. Make no mistake, this is real life, and somebody or two or three have been through this. And if you're following this case, you might want to know what the allegations are against this particular defendant. This defendant is sitting in jail and they are not convicted guilty and they have a right to due process. And these are allegations that have been made. And that's it. That's all. That's my disclaimer. Okay. I feel like when I look at my numbers, everybody here is super grown. We don't really have a lot of our average audience member is in their 40s and like 40s to 60s. Um, and I feel like y'all know what's going on. I would love to hear a call after yesterday. Okay. Um, I know there's a couple of calls that we haven't listened to. I know it's horrible. Bougie Gang, please take a minute. Please take a minute to hit the thumbs up. Yes. We'll do, I feel like this has been Nesto week, and maybe it needs to be Nesto week because we haven't had a lot of Nesto coverage for a while, but we are going to swerve. So I know a lot of you guys like Nesto, but you know what I mean? We'll get caught up and we're going to get to, but I feel like, and I guess also the next 30 days, there's probably not going to be much going on because, um, but that could, the next 30 days, we know Wooten's going to be on leave for his election. We know Hoover is out a little bit, but that doesn't mean that Dunaway can't set up time for, or no, Winfrey to have a hearing. So let me see. Before I get into this, let me check the docket. Let's check the docket. I feel like I looked at it earlier, but I've looked at like maybe 10, 12, 15 other dockets today. So you guys know I check multiple. I'm following like tons of cases. Um, let's see. And you guys, I'm on my laptop right now, so just know I'm on one screen and I'm flipping between the two, so like my normal agility, I'm not going to be as agile as I typically am because okay, no new updates on the docket. No new updates on the docket, at least on the Erno Winfrey case, which is the SA and CSAM. Okay, nothing new. Now, yesterday she did mention that she was looking to null pros one of the cases. If you heard that, um, there's two cases open. The original indictment, which did not have the CSAM on it, and then the re-indictment that we read like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, right? So I think she's looking to null pros the original case. The original case, which is 25SC 003194. And the newest one has the same number, 25SC003194-01. That's the one that includes everything, okay? Because she mentioned something about null prosing something, and I think she wants to null pros the original case just to go ahead and get that off the docket because they're focusing on the re-indictment, which has everything all rolled into one, if that makes sense. Let me go and see if you guys have any questions about that. Just one second, guys. Okie dokie. Okay, Petty Patty. Thank you. That sounds like what she said. Shout out to Ernell. Yes. Okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I found myself kind of like avoiding coming live today because I was just like, I don't want to read that. When I read it, it was like, okay. But, at the end of the day, I think this is what I'm gonna say too. People like people who are accused of crimes like Ernest Williams, people who are accused of crimes like the ones that Ernest Williams are accused of rely on intimidating, people keeping secrets, people not talking about it, being secretive, covert, uncomfortable, all of those things. And people do need to talk about this kind of stuff because it does exist. There are people who are being violated as we speak. And these are things that if we are able to know about, keep our eyes open, you can help somebody who might be in need or someone who might need some support. So, from that standpoint, it's a good thing to be aware. And also, the people who now again, he's innocent until proven guilty, but the people who feel like they that everybody's lying, everybody can't be lying. And also, it's just interesting how we heard on multiple calls how Ernest Williams would ask Sonia Durham, his mistress girlfriend, to contact his son, contact his daughter Laverte, contact Martha, contact multiple people to get in contact with his daughter that he would call crazy girl or bipolar. And not just bipolar as a diagnosis, but bipolar as a nickname. He would like insult her because of a perceived mental illness, but considering the fact that we now know that she's accusing him of violating her as a father, it would be no wonder that this woman would have some mental issues because who can deal with a violation of that sort, right? So we know, so to think that Sonia isn't aware that there were accusations made against Nesto for these the incidents that is depicted in that narrative is ridiculous. She's known for a long time. She knew something was up. And if she felt that it was I don't know, if she had feelings about it, then I would have expected her to be gone a long time ago. She went so far as to contact people on his behalf to try to intercept her from telling her story, and we heard many calls like that. So, um, I hope she's surrounded by love and support. Uh, yeah. Okay. Absolutely, right? Okay. There were several calls that I remember him asking Sonia to call people, get in touch with so and so, tell my daughter, tell so and so she's going to ruin her life by contacting this person, that person, the other person. She shouldn't talk about that. Like all the things that um, he was trying to get people to do to talk to her. It's actually a symptom if you relate to. Absolutely. Some people like slip into it can trigger many mental illnesses. It could, people have things that could be dormant and just waiting for a trigger. And this could have very much been a trigger to release something that, that could be there anyway, but this was the trigger that made her slip into any number of things. We don't know what her diagnosis is, but um, awful. There's a recent story of a young girl. Maybe she's 14, 15. I don't know her name, but she's deceased now, and she unalived herself. And the word is that I think it was her, maybe her stepfather, her father or her stepfather. There was just something recently that happened, and that the allegations are that this close male family member, either father, stepfather, it might even be her father, and within 6 months, she unalived herself because of severe depression and all of the things that happened to her. And awful. Okay. Someone asked in the comments too, in my comments, um, from yesterday when I said that Winfrey had dropped a document asking, do we know if she is his legal daughter or he's her legal father? I'm going to be honest with you. This man is 60 years old and this young woman is grown. I don't know what due diligence they did to prove or not prove her allegations. I don't know if she supplied a birth certificate. I don't know what their process was. I don't know that that was even necessary to file a police report. I don't know. We have spent no time discussing Ernest Williams and his paternity of his 6 alleged children. I have no idea. So I didn't answer the question in the comments. If you're listening on the replay or you're here, um, I appreciate the question, but man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. We don't know who these kids are. We don't know who their daddies are. We don't know. But if she says that's her father and he claims her as his daughter, then we're just going to go based on that. And if the police feel it's necessary to do DNA testing or whatever, I guess that's what they'll do. But we don't know all that. Okay, I don't think we've ever talked about that, and I I don't know. Right. It kind of doesn't matter, but whether he's her father or not, she's still accusing him of grape. I hate to use grape because it sounds so stupid, but that's just what it is. She's still accusing him of violating her, okay? And also the allegations of a crimes against nature allegation. I'll say it like that. Um, but yeah, we've spent no time. I don't think anyone can say that we have spent any time on the paternity of Nesto's kids, and I don't think we're going to. I guess if they feel like they have to legitimize that, then we'll find that out in court. Sonia was so deep in and maybe hoping this wasn't true. And this is another allegation now that this is out. Wonder how Sonia, but keep in mind, Deborah, we've heard Nesto on the phone with Sonia asking her to call people to talk to this particular daughter to tell her not that she's going to ruin her life and she shouldn't be talking to the police. Um, and that she was accusing, like, we don't, like, I think Sonya knows. I think Sonya knows. Even if he's a man who was in the home, let's just say, I'm not saying that I don't want to go down this hill, but what I'm going to say is this. No matter who he is to her biologically, she went to the police department as this being her father. So, but I don't know. I feel like if you've ever seen any of the pictures, and I'm talking specifically to the person who was asking, do we know for sure that that's his kid? What I'm going to say is this. If you saw any of the pictures of Nesto with his daughters, which I'm sure, I feel like they're around, because we went through his whole entire Instagram feed. If you go early on in my Ernest Williams folder, there are pictures from his Instagram feed and his daughters are photographed in those pictures. I do think that his children bear a resemblance to him. So we'll say it like that. Um, she doesn't care. Hi, Vicky. How are you, hun? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think she cares. I don't. I'm willing to say she don't care. That's where I don't think she cares about that stuff. I think that she thinks everybody is lying. That's number one. And number two, she seems to think that he is a cut above. And I don't think she may think he has that in him, or I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know. That's a conversation for another day, but I think that she's aware, and I don't know that she's concerned. I saw a picture of him on the street. You're talking about the pictures of the daughters. There's a picture where he is with 3 pretty girls. Maybe was it 3? He's with 2 or 3 pretty girls that look like they're all his kids. I don't know. Is it 3 girls or 4 girls? Because he's in a picture with 3 girls, 3 young ladies. We know the short one was Laverte, and then there were 2 that were taller. And I feel like they all have some, it looked like family. They all look like sisters. I don't know. We know, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much about Nesto's kids. I know he's got 6. We know he's got at least 2 sons. I don't know that he has 3 sons. I think if he's got 2 sons and he has 4 daughters. Okay. All right. Let's get into this over here, and we're just gonna. All right. So, this is the state's motion to introduce other acts. So the other acts don't necessarily have to be acts that he was convicted of. That's what this document says. Comes now the state of Georgia by and through deputy district attorney. Why does Dunaway call everybody ADA when they're all deputy district attorneys? I thought she was a deputy district attorney. That's what it says on her title on Fulton County website. But he calls them all ADA. But anyway, DDA attorney Ernell Winfrey, pursuant to, maybe she wanted to just let Dunaway know once and for all, I am a deputy district attorney. Pursuant to OCGA 244403, 414, and 403, and Uniform Superior Court Rules 31.1 and 31.3 are hereby motions for this honorable court to allow the state to introduce prior act evidence by the above named defendant at trial of the above style case. In addition, the state requests a hearing to be held on the motion at least 45 days prior to the call of the case for trial. So she's giving plenty of window. Like basically, she's already saying, well, we don't really have to call this right away. I just would like this at least 45 days before the call of trial, and that a written ruling of this court be entered at least 30 days prior. So really, she's asking 45 days before trial and 30 days a written ruling. So I guess so she knows how she can move going into trial. So okay, she's actually putting a timeline in, at least of when she's hoping to have the hearing and when she's hoping to have a response. Doesn't mean that that's what Dunaway is going to do, but that's what she's asking for, right? Case in chief, in the above reference case, the defendant is indicted for the offenses of rape, aggravated sexual battery, aggravated sodomy, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, possession or control of material depicting a minor in sexually explicit conduct times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6. Okay. January 1st, 2019 through July 7, 2022, on somewhere on Peachtree Road and Windward Parkway. These charges arise from an incident that occurred on the dates listed above. Herein, victim learned of a criminal case involving the accused that was published online. The victim reached out to the lead detective handling the matter and made disclosures about being recruited and enticed by the accused, promising her help with her career in modeling. She further disclosed that she was raped, sodomized with sexual objects in exchange for the promise of career in modeling. She was told she had to perform sexual acts with the accused. The accused also threatened to kill her if she did not comply with his demands and told her to not tell his wife, Shirley Strawberry. The victim traveled with the accused for the purpose of sex and not for advancing her career, he promised her. Upon arrest, the accused was found with electronic devices, specifically a laptop that was extracted pursuant to search warrant, wherein officers located child sex abuse material on said laptop. The images they located on the accused laptop contained bestiality. Dildos and other sex toys were located with the defendant at arrest. At this trial, At the trial of this case, the state will seek to introduce the following extrinsic act: rape/incest, and the victim from August of 2018 to July of 2020 in Los Angeles, California. The purpose of introducing other act evidence: the admission of the other act is for the purpose of showing proof of motive, intent, identity plan, common scheme, lustful disposition, propensity, or any other purpose for which is relevant. The brief in support of state's motion for the introduction of other act evidence pursuant to OCGA 24404, 414, and 403 is attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference of Exhibit A. Conclusion: a copy of this motion serves as notice of the state's intent to present other act evidence and has been served upon the defendant's counsel of record prior to trial. Copies of the police report, indictment, accusations, guilty pleas, or verdicts in any are being served upon defense counsel in addition to this notice, and the copy of such notice has been filed with the court. Wherefore, the state motions this court to allow the state to present evidence of said other acts in the trial of the above styled motion. The state also requests that a hearing be held on this motion at least 45 days prior to call of the case for trial, and a written ruling from this court be entered at least 30 days prior to the trial, and this the 15th day of April 2026. Okay. And then it goes to brief in support of the motion for the introduction of other acts, evidence pursuant to. So this is like a consolidated, there's many different things in here. And this goes into a lot of law as it pertains to submitting the other acts. So, and this is this okay? So this is basically Exhibit A. So she talked about Exhibit A, and this is Exhibit A, if you will. So like I said, I attached that on my Patreon. You can click the link. If you're not following me on Patreon, just register. You can just do the free membership, and you can get this and read through that. But basically, it's going through the law that permits adding other acts that may not necessarily be convicted, um, and or litigated. You know, he wasn't necessarily convicted, he hadn't been adjudicated. She filed the police report. I don't think that it went anywhere after. I'm not sure where it went. Like, I can't tell you the full story as to after she filled out the police report, like, okay, then what happened? Like, did they try to arrest him? Is he still Was he wanted for this? We know that a police report was filled out, and I did not see where anything else happened. You know, a lot of times you can fill out a police report and you're filling out a police report, and that's kind of what happens, and that's it. That's all. It doesn't seem like anything happened after this, but he may have left the state by then. Um, or he may have, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what the chain of events were that happened, but I'm sure once DDA Winfrey talks about it, we'll know more. Let me see what you guys are saying. I've let's see. Okay, I'm not using the victim's name, so I'm not anything that is going to make a reference to who I identifying information of who this victim is. Just have some, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mentioning the name for a reason. Um That's it, that's all. You know what I mean? I feel like it should be obvious. Like, if I took the time to redact the name, I'm not gonna just say the name, right? So, wouldn't have made sense for me to take time to redact the name and then just say it. Hopefully that answers the question. We're not going to identify who this victim is on this report. If you want to have the name, then I would suggest go to Fulton County. You got to register for an account, and then you can pay for the document and have it unredacted or somewhere else on the YouTube streets. I don't want to have identifying information on. I'm not going to use the identifying information on this channel. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Everyone can't be lying, right? We know it's his daughter, so that narrows it down. I know. I watched Pam yesterday too, and I was working on some other things and I was listening to her broadcast. Everybody People handle their business the way they handle their business. I totally respect everyone doing what they do. I just did not want to. I chose to redact. That's really the sum and the total of it. You know what I mean? Like, I just okay, let's go on. Okay? Just know that everybody runs their own channels, and what somebody does on their channel, somebody might choose to not read this at all. Some people don't pay for documents. You know what I mean? So everybody does something different, and we don't benchmark each other. I don't benchmark myself against what other people do, and they shouldn't benchmark. Like, no one should benchmark me against what other people do. We all do stuff different, right? Because if we were all doing the same thing, there wouldn't be any point in watching other people's channels, right? Okay. Source of activity. So let's just get into this. I'm just going to read through it. Source of activity on March 2nd, excuse me, March 2nd, 2021, at approximately 1500 hours, my partner, Officer Costales, and I, Officer Ramos, were assigned to West Valley Patrol Unit. We were in full uniform driving a marked black and white police vehicle when we received a radio call for an attack investigation at Ventura Boulevard, incident number 2103020001546. My partner and I arrived at the above location and contacted the PR, who stated, She was at Ivanhurst and Ventura, which is where we met her. My partner and I with the victim, who stated that one night during the early summer of 2018, she was walking in the area of Ventura and Sepulveda Boulevard. While she was walking, she was approached from the rear by the suspect, William's Earnest, father. He walks behind her and puts his arm around her neck over her shoulders as the two walked side by side. The victim stated that he then began talking to her about stretching the bloodline and having a baby together, to which she stated no and began to cry. She then tried to leave the area. The victim then stated that a few minutes later, suspect Ernest, who was in a four-door burgundy Mercedes, pulled up to the curb next to her and demanded that she gets in the vehicle. The victim indicated that the vehicle belonged to the suspect's wife, Shirley Strawberry. The victim refused to get in the vehicle, at which time the suspect exited the vehicle, forcibly grabbed the victim by the arms, and threw her into the rear passenger side of the vehicle. She then indicated that he drove to the top floor of a parking structure of the public school 818 restaurant, at which time she recalled was empty. The victim stated that this is what I want to know. This thing that she was on the street, she was walking down Ventura. All of a sudden, he comes up behind her, puts his arm around her, and like casually talking to her. Like, what were you doing on the street? And how would he know that you're walking down just some random street and come up behind you, put his arm around you, and say, let's stretch the bloodline, and then pull up on you in a Mercedes talking about get in the car, and she says no, and then he scoops her up off the street and throws her in the car? It just sounds weird. I'm trying to figure out, like, how did he find you on the street? What were you doing? And how, like, that just sounds like a weird, like, it just sounds like something is missing from this narrative, but maybe there's more to this story, but this is basically the gist of what happened. Am I the only one who's like, okay, now what happened? Well, we can't, maybe it was near her home, maybe. Um, I don't know if he was stalking her or not. They didn't include that. If he was stalking her, maybe they would have said that. WSB-TV has a updated story. I feel like I read what WSB-TV had on their website today. I didn't see anything new like that we didn't know, but I guess I have to go see. Is it anything that we don't know? I feel like there's nobody reporting anything that this collective does not know, because we've been following this story like every day for the past 3 years. And I think to the casual observer, maybe there's stuff they don't know, but let's see. Maybe that was one of her known hangout places. Okay, Ventura Boulevard is in the valley. Okay. It's like Crenshaw Boulevard in the city. Okay. I think it said, hold on, let me go back. It said that she was in, was it Sherman Oaks area? Okay. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, so he pulls up on her, gets her in the car, takes her to the top of the parking deck, and I believe this is where the assault is going to happen. The victim stated that she attempted to open the door In She attempted to open the door in an attempt to exit the vehicle and flee. However, she believes that the child lock was engaged because she was unable to open the door. While the car was parked, the victim observed suspect Earnest walk to the rear of the vehicle. How did he walk? So he got out the car. The victim stated she attempted to open the door in an attempt to exit and flee. However, she believes the child lock was engaged because she was unable to open the door. While the car was parked, the victim observed Ernest walk to the rear of the vehicle. Okay, so he got out the car. All right, walk to the rear of the vehicle to gain access to the trunk, into the trunk. He then removed what she stated were sex toys. Suspect Ernest then walked to the rear passenger seat where, like, was this a bus? Was this a bus? Was it a van? Was it one of his motor coaches? Because how is he walking? It sounds like he's walking through the vehicle, does it not? Suspect Ernest then walked to the rear passenger seat where the victim was still located with the items. She described one of the items as a black vibrating machine. And when asked what that was, the suspect replied, "It's a tool from the barber shop." She then stated that the suspect entered the vehicle and sat next to her. Okay, so he was outside at that point. The suspect placed his hands around her neck and began to strangle her as he stated, "I'm going to show you what happened when you tell me no. I'm going to show you what happened when you tell me no." Suspect Ernest eventually let go of his grip around her neck. Just a second, guys. Okay, sorry, guys. My phone was ringing. 1 second. Guys, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I had to get a call from my husband. Okay. So he is assaulting her at that time. As Strangle her as he stated, "I'm going to show you what happened when you tell me no." Suspect Ernest eventually let go of his grip around her neck. The victim turned her back towards him and faced away. This made suspect Ernest angry and caused him to aggressively pull her legs towards him. He then pulled her pants and underwear off without her permission. Let me make sure I'm not on. Okay. While she was nude from the waist down, suspect Ernest grabbed the vibrating sex toy and forcibly completely inserted it inside her vagina. I then asked her how long she believed the vibrating sex toy was inside her, and she estimated for about 5 minutes. She indicated that while the vibrating sex toy was inside her vagina, the suspect began taking his clothes off from the waist down. When he removed the vibrating sex toy from her vagina, he told her, "Every time I see you, I want you to be horny." I asked the victim if the vibrating sex toy hurt while it was inserted inside of her vagina. The victim replied it didn't hurt, that she felt it inside her vibrating. The victim stated that after the removal of the vibrating sex toy that the suspect put his hard penis inside her vagina against her will. She stated that as he penetrated her multiple times, he told her, "I'm not stopping until I get mine." The victim stated this lasted for approximately 10 minutes. She indicated that when he finished, he pulled out and ejaculated on some wipes in the rear seat. The victim mentioned he then dressed himself, returned to the driver's seat while she stayed in the back seat as he began to drive off. He then dropped her off where he picked her up and told her, "Don't you try to go too far." That is so, don't you try to go too far, and dropped her off on the street? I asked her how she felt about the incident, and she informed me she felt sore and feeling scared and guilty. She also indicated two other forcible rape incidents between her and the suspect Ernest. The first incident occurred sometime in 2017. She indicated that she and the suspect Ernest were on a road trip from Atlanta to Los Angeles. Suspect Ernest booked a room at where she believed could have been a Holiday Inn in the state of Arkansas. She stated that she was raped inside the hotel room against her will by suspect Ernest. She also indicated that she believed sex toys were used during that incident. The victim stated that after the rape, the suspect told her, "I know I'm sick in the head and I don't care." The third incident occurred from her recollection during the time of her birthday, July of 2020. She indicated she observed the suspect Ernest getting a Jeep washed at a car wash in Sherman Oaks. Later that night, suspect Ernest returned in the same Mercedes used in the 2018 incident, at which time suspect Ernest exited the vehicle and proceeded to punch her face and stomach. What? How is he just doing this on the street? This is crazy. The third incident occurred from her recollection during the time of her birthday, July of 2020. She indicated she observed the suspect, Ernest, getting a Jeep washed at the car wash in Sherman Oaks. Later that night, suspect Ernest returned in the same Mercedes used in the 2018 incident, at which time suspect Ernest exited the vehicle and proceeded to punch her face and stomach approximately 2 to 3 times before forcing her into his vehicle. She mentioned she was taken into the suspect's residence in Inglewood, California. The victim indicated that she was then raped inside the residence against her will by the suspect Ernest. She also stated that the residence belonged to the suspect's wife, which she stated was her stepmom, Shirley Strawberry. The victim stated she did not seek medical attention when the incidents occurred. The victim emailed me a photo of the suspect, which is attached to this report. This incident was captured via body-worn camera. All statements in this investigation are paraphrased from the video, and the full and complete statements can be obtained from review, or maybe for review of, they were obtained from review of the video. Okay, evidence none. Canvassing, they did none. West Valley Night Watch Detective Moreno and Detective Gessner of West Valley Watch Commander Benbrook were briefed regarding the incidents. My partner and I asked the victim why there was a delay in reporting these catastrophic events. Her reply was that she felt guilty and thought that this is how daughters were supposed to act. I mean, this is really sad that it just makes me think. So if this happened in 2017. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but at the end of the day, if that was her thinking, I just I mean, it's possible she'd been exposed to maybe this type of violence before, I don't know. Um, it's really sad. It's very, very, very sad that she didn't report it because she didn't it's giving the impression she didn't know that there was anything wrong with it. Her reply was that she felt guilty and thought this was how daughters were supposed to act. That's what she says. She also stated that she was scared and thought that no one would believe her as it was her father, the one who was raping her. The victim also mentioned that there were several times in which she tried to comment her story on his Instagram post, which we saw all those posts, but they kept being removed. He kept deleting them. And Sonia, I'm sure Sonia deleted all those pictures. Sonia went through and scrubbed his Instagram. Clothing and bedding were not obtained due to the delay in reporting. It should be noted that the internet search revealed that the suspect is a high-profile barber and his wife, Shirley Strawberry, is a television personality. When asked if she recalled any clothing the suspect was wearing or provided her, the victim stated suspect Ernest gave her a black hoodie to wear with the logo Nesto on front of it. Nesto's is the name of his barbershop. My partner also asked if she knew the name of the business, and she stated Nesto's Buckhead. Utilizing city resources, it was revealed the suspect Ernest's wife is a registered owner of a Jeep and a Mercedes. Due to the allegations against the high-profile individual, officers contacted MEU regarding the victim. MEU Perez indicated there are no prior contacts. Court information, my partner and I can testify to the contents of this report. And then it goes into Ernest and his picture. They took that straight from his Instagram. And then there's some text messages. Well, this would be from his Instagram. If you see this picture, remember on his Instagram. See how it says Nesto's Buckhead right here? Nesto's Buckhead. And that was the picture that was on his Instagram. So she was messaging him and she says, "Go fuck your wife. Go fuck your wife. You never loved me. Go fuck your wife. You took my virginity, dad." And he says, "What is your telephone number? Because you're going too far." She says, "I'm your daughter, not some bitch. Null, you don't care about me. One more time. What is your telephone number?" She says, you just care about you." And she says, "Why? Well, why did you go that far with me, dad? Why you think you're right? You're always play the victim." And that's it. I wish there were, I mean, that's all they included in the report. We don't know what she sent, like if she sent everything. It's crazy. It's a lot. So I guess if it sounds like stuff is missing, they did have a longer conversation, but they said that they paraphrased the story for the report narrative. So it's not a detailed timeline of everything that it wasn't a transcription of their conversation. It was a paraphrased narrative of her reporting. Now, we don't know what happened after that. We don't know. They called him suspect Ernest, but we don't know what they did, what the investigation was. Did they put a bolo out for him? Like what happened? We don't know that. So Yeah. Thank you, JMM. I appreciate that. I don't know. So, had everybody heard this already, or is this some people? Is if this is your first time hearing this, drop a one in the chat. Mm. I'm telling you, it just. I read this yesterday, and I was like, mm. If you want to read it, click the link, and you can go download it if you want to, and absorb it for yourself. Um, yesterday, so, yeah, it's just a lot. It was a lot. It's just like this guy gets creepier and creepier. So you said WSB TV posted something. Let's see. Um, let's see. Okay, just one second, guys. I'm doing a quick search to see if I can find it. I saw something on their Instagram, but and then I went to their website and read something, but when I read it, I was like, this is nothing. This isn't like if you are caught up over here or you're following on YouTube, wherever you might be following or consuming Nesto content, I think you probably know more than the average person. The average person doesn't know what's going on this case. If you're on YouTube, you're hearing right now, you probably know, I feel like, what's in that WSB TV uh, update. Let's see. Okay, let me put this out. Uh, and the people in the comments were like, why? What's this got to do with Steve Harvey? Like they said, Steve Harvey, ex-husband of Steve Harvey, show host, blah, 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 blah. I think people were like, what's this got to do with Steve Harvey? You know, the Steve Harvey fans will. I don't see anything on YouTube yet. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. I don't see a report about it. It was like a written story. Let's see. Uh, oh, here we go. Give me just a second, guys. Um, I feel like this is going to be all kind of stuff we already know, but ex-husband of Steve Harvey morning show co-host indicted under RICO Act faces additional charges. A man accused of defrauding dozens of people and marrying a co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show to gain access to victims faces additional charges. Attorneys appeared in Fulton County Superior Court for a status hearing for Earnest Williams on Thursday, so yesterday. Williams was indicted on was indicted was indicted on dozens of fraud-related charges, May 2024, re-indicted on rape and sexual battery charges in January 2026. During Thursday's hearings, attorneys discussed combining the new indictment to the hold indictment. Well, that's not actually true. Um, Ernell Winfrey talked about, okay, that is true. So the RICO, they talked about and so the new charges. So see, people coming in who don't really know. So for instance, the RICO, that wasn't January of 2026. The re-indictment happened, I don't know when that happened. That happened like what, 3, 4 weeks ago. But the strawberry and the PGR happened like in September. That happened in September. The additional charge, now the sexual battery and the re-indictment, that's not part of the defrauding case. So, and they weren't talking about merging all of the cases. Ernell Winfrey was talking about her cases, and Wooten was talking about merging the PGR and the strawberry with the RICO. They weren't talking about the rape and sexual battery. Williams was indicted on dozens of fraud-related charges, May of 2024, and re-indicted on rape and sexual battery charges in January 2026. That's not accurate. During Thursday's hearing, attorneys discussed combining the new indictment to the hold indictments. Okay, that's on the sexual battery, so I guess. An attorney for Williams says he needs time to review all the charges. A trial date has not been set at this time. Channel 2 investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln has been following this case against Williams since the grand jury indicted him under the Georgia Racketeering Influence and Corruption Organization Act. The 39-count indictment claims Williams fraudulently married popular radio show personality Shirley Strawberry, a co-host on the renowned Steve Harvey morning show, to gain access to his victims. He began conning people since 2009 to 2022. Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis previously told Lincoln he would pretend to be a legitimate businessman, but he was stealing from people in United States currency vehicles and really just taking advantage of people, Willis said. Documents suggest Williams scammed at least 25 victims out of more than $750,000. They also claim he knowingly went into the fraudulent marriage with Strawberry. We believe she met a man, fell in love, and married him. And the truth is, at the time, he was already married to someone else, said Willis. A grand jury also indicted Williams' co-defendant, Erica King, who pled guilty to her charges in 2024. King admits she was wrong, but Erica King admits she was wrong, but says she was a victim and claims she was pressured and manipulated by Williams. Do you feel like you're a victim in all of this? Lincoln asked. I do. I had things taken from me. I just didn't file charges, King responded. King was set to testify against Williams in his RICO trial. King is set to testify against Williams in his RICO trial. No future court dates have been set as of Thursday. Oh my God. Okay, well, it's a little it's that article has some problems, but the gist of it is okay. But to factual purists like ourselves who have actually, no offense to Ashley Lincoln, because she's a newswoman who is here, there, and everywhere, all over the state or all over her area, her beat, following cases. So we don't expect her to know everything. But damn, the part at the end redeemed her for me because I love the Erica King snippet in there. Thank you so much. Charge Sonia as an accessory. Sonia needs to be charged for manipulating and destroying evidence in that Instagram feed. Okay. Yes, you went into that Instagram feed and probably deleted some things. There is no, I'm sorry, you guys. This is just my opinion. And that's it. That's all. This is just my opinion. But what I'm going to say is this: Sonia was in that man's email, she was in that man's Instagram. She saw those messages between he and the rape victim, identified as one of his daughters. There is no way she doesn't know the allegations set forth from that one young woman against the man known as her father. Okay? Period. There's just no. Sonya knows. Sonya knows. And that's it. That's all. She was all up in that man's Instagram. There's no way. I'm sorry. And she deleted his Instagram feed probably for that reason, because she is a salty protectionist of people who don't need protection. She feels like everybody's lying on him. Okay, thank you so much for that. What up, Doe? Thank you, boo boo. Sweet Pea, thanks. Let me see. I knew he was slime, but hearing this hits so different. He got his he got his who village fooled. Okay. Thank you, Sweet Peas. I appreciate you, hun. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. My bad. Okay. For the 3 times, my bad. Y'all, I'm working off one screen. I'm used to working with like, I don't even know how big my screens are, but I know one of them is at least 32 to 40 inches. Like I've got like a big setup. So, and I'm just on my laptop right now. So my bad. Okay. Um, okay. That's one of the only family members. So you reminded him he was supposed to not contact. And there was two. There was the young lady, the Miles, and then they listed two daughters on there, and he wasn't supposed to contact either of them by hook or by crook. And what does hook or by crook mean? It means directly, indirectly, or a third party. And that would be Sonia, because Sonia called Laverte, she called Dion, and she reached out to them to reach out to Big Mama, reach out to Martha, and to get a hold of her. Didn't Sonia have access to these text messages before now? Absolutely. This isn't Sonia. This is that was a copy of the police report that the daughter victim gave to the police. Whatever we just saw, that doesn't, I don't know, that wasn't from Sonia. Sonia was in his Instagram. You guys remember when this case first broke? I went to Nesto's Instagram feed and we went through his Instagram at least 2 or 3 times. There's a couple of videos which we'll have to go back to them. But when Sonia took his Instagram down and then she pulled it back up, she changed the name to some stupid names a couple of times, and then she went ahead and blocked me. So I don't even know. I can't see it. A couple of you guys tell me that it's up, but I can't see it because I'm blocked. So, but it doesn't matter because I pretty much I caught the whole Instagram feed on a couple of videos. So we went through comments. We probably were in there for about 2 hours and went through every picture, every post. We clicked on comments, everything. So boom. Okay. Because I know how people do on this internet. When people's spot gets hot, the first thing they do is try to clean up their footprint on this internet. They try to scrub. and she went in there to try to scrub down his internet, in my opinion. Okay. My opinion is that there was a scrubation of his Instagram. Okay. She scrubbed his Instagram. Okay. You said lock her up. Absolutely. We just read that. We read it. We read that. And she probably deleted those. I believe that. Absolutely. I would love to hear from Dre after this. We're not gonna. Dre is trying to be on the straight and narrow. Hold on one second. Let me ask my. Let me talk to my daughter real quick. Just a second, guys. Okay, yeah. She messed. We already have the Instagram. I'll have to find the videos. I'll bubble them up. But we went through. When we found. Erica King and all those pictures. Just we have all that stuff. We have it. Um. Hopefully, why would he stop listening? Because, oh, well, he's busy trying to win a seat on the he's got stuff going on, but I think he's on. I would say, what else would you, if you're on sabbatical? I feel like, look, this is what I'm gonna say. I think Will enjoys this channel, so it's not just work. It's also some entertainment. Okay. I don't think he just tunes in because he's a deputy district attorney and he's just tuning in because the feds are listening. I think he partially listens because he enjoys the content too. You know what I mean? Why did she change his IG name? What it was that? She can. Those are good questions. Sean must be from the DA's office. Sean, are you in the DA's office? Sean, I think Sean works for Fulton County. Okay. I don't know why she changed the name. Do you think Sonia saw those DMs? I do. I do. She said that people were being thirsty in his. Remember, she said people were being thirsty. People were looking for him. Yeah. Yeah. People were looking for him. Remember, she said, why would you be looking for him if he assaulted you? So I definitely think she saw something. And we saw the victim in the comments. We saw a lot of those comments. We saw I didn't know. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. In a million years, I did not think that that was the reason why his daughter was writing the commenting weird messages. I had no idea that there were allegations that he had sexually assaulted her. Like 3 years ago when we first started getting into this, I I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what was up between those two. But I'm going to just say I was surprised. I was a little surprised because that's not it's more prevalent than we know about, but it's still not normal. It's not it's more common than we think, but it doesn't happen to everybody, okay? So, that wasn't my first thought, that what was going on between him and his daughter and her acting up and acting out. I mean, they kinda made it seem like she wanted money. Remember, Shirley was like, she hacked into my account." She was commenting horrible things. I didn't, in a million years, I would not have thought of that immediately. Now that we saw this, that makes more sense, right? Joey's here. Do I see Joey? Why didn't I see Joey? Because I'm on one screen. Hold on, let me see. Joey Sea Dog, type something so I can see. Okay, hold on a second. All right, let me give Joey. Hi, Joey. Joey, did you want to go ahead and come up? It's time for a segment that we call Joey's Unpopular Opinion. I'm just joking. Because you guys asked for Joey to come up. You guys hear me? You guys hear me clapping my hands right now. You guys asked for Joey to come up. Please, you guys know that we're going to hear what Joey's got to say, because I feel like Joey's going to have some new news to share with us in light of what happened, the events of yesterday. So I'm eager to hear. Okay. If you have not yet hit the thumbs up yet, hit the thumbs up. Our good friend to the show, Joey Sea Dog, is going to come up, and he's going to share his opinion. Let's get into it. Hold on one second. Let me drop this. All right. What's my title? Jaw-dropping allegations, Fulton County case update. Bible lady, what's up, sis? What's up? It's the avatars that take me out every single time. Hold on, let me make it big so everybody can see. Oh my God. Do you guys think that Busybody is going to go on Blabbermouth's platform? And it's just corrupt. It's just corrupt. Fulton County is corrupt. Why are we talking about yesterday? Why are we talking about 30 years ago? Why are we talking about 10 years ago? Why can't we talk about today? When are they going to set a trial date? Why wasn't Nesto there? He should be allowed to talk. Oh, she went on today? When was this? Oh, okay. Girl. When did that happen, you guys? Tell me. You saying she did already when? Oh, she did today. Oh, I missed it. Okay. I missed it. Girl, I unsubscribed from that channel. Joey, what's going on? Joey's in the house, you guys. Can we get some bingos in the chat, please? Hi.
Francoise, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Outstanding.
Good. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I hope you are.
We're still here. We're hanging in here.
Yes, we're still here. So what do you like? Tell us your thoughts. Like, what's going on?
What do you want to know? I mean, where do you want
So
to begin?
start from yesterday. When they called the case. Okay,
Uh,
wait, my bad. Wooten is bougie gang. Start with that. Wooten admitted in my questioning that he is in the bushes. Tell us your thoughts.
I'm sure he's in a lot of bushes. And
Okay. Are you trying to diminish my influence?
I am not trying to diminish your
Okay,
influence.
thank you.
I'm,
Don't do
I'm
that.
trying to
Yes.
I'm trying to give you a realistic expectation of what's going on. I'm sure
Oh.
he's in a lot of bushes. I'm sure
Mm.
I have no doubt you're his favorite, as you are mine.
Oh,
So
thank you.
so that I'm pretty sure of. But I'm sure
Okay,
he's listening
okay.
to he listened to probably he's probably tuned in or listened to several of these. Not all
Yes.
the time, but
I
yeah.
know that for sure.
s-
Yes.
s-
We've had a couple of we've conversed
Right.
offline. Yes.
That is, and that's a good thing. I'm sure he's picked up some, just like I do. You pick up a lot of information from these blogs, so it's actually a good thing.
Okay, absolutely. Well, yes. So tell us about yesterday. Were you in the house or were you in the bushes? Were you at
Oh,
the
I'm sure.
courthouse bushes or was a reasonable facsimile of you potentially in the gallery yesterday?
There may have been, maybe not have been. I don't know,
Okay.
but
Okay.
not much happened yesterday, so uh, it would have been that was a good time to not be there if that's the case,
Okay.
because that was from what I understand, what I've seen was 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 more of an which is what I thought was going to happen. It's more of an administrative day,
Right.
uh, so as is the case with him.
I still feel like there was something though. I mean, we heard Hoover's frustration, maybe a little bit of his workload, maybe he's a little pressed right now. We heard a little bit about timeline. We know that time is a factor. Wooten is running for office. Um, Hoover's busy, kind of busy through the summer. Um,
Yes,
You
yes.
know what I mean? Like, I felt like it didn't seem like a lot, but there were some important things that were kind of casually discussed. I felt like it was progressive. It moved the needle ahead.
We got some information, but
Yeah.
most of that we kind of already knew.
Yeah.
Um, St. Jude is it's just getting it's just getting worse for him. Um,
Yes,
the
it's the pylon. It's
uh,
the fruits of the
it is
pylon.
it is I don't I have to be careful what I say. I'm I'm kind of I'm concerned that PD has so much on his plate
Mhm.
that I wonder if he can give adequate attention, time and attention and energy to these cases, because he has all his cases are pretty. He has a lot of very serious cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Prosecution has it a little easier, and they have the resources and and the bougie and the bloggers and the actual accused themselves to help them with their
Mhm.
case.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that. But that's the situation you find yourself in when you find yourself when you put yourself in the jaws of the criminal justice system. So just be aware of that.
Well, rather than seeing bloggers as a negative, like you said, like if the prosecution sees it as, as helpful information or a look into what how the public sees the case,
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason the defense can't see the same thing. Rather than trying to make it a hindrance or use the information as data. It's nothing, just use it as data. Use it as information. You don't have to have any feelings. Everyone doesn't have to have feelings about everything. Everything is not required to have a thought behind it. So it exists, I mean, if one party finds it helpful, maybe it is helpful. If someone's saying something, then, I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to help either side. We're just here sharing opinions and talking about the case. But at the end of the day, um, I don't know why Hoover would find it like a detriment to his case versus a window in and some intel
Well,
of what the word is on the street.
it certainly adds to his, and it can add to your frustration as documents and police reports are released to the general public, and your jury pool is exposed to these things
Mm,
without the benefit of a defense. So they see all this, They see the accused part, but not the defense part. So, I mean, it goes either way, but I
Okay,
can
that's
see
valid.
how a defender would not like that. Can't stop
Okay,
it,
I get that's fair.
but that doesn't work. That's not something that you would. I would say you don't want a group of you wouldn't want a group of people who are basically using a megaphone to highlight all of the prosecution's points uh, day in and day out, all the time. And the bloggers yourself, I hate to say I'm one of them, but you're living with this material. So I think I would say that Bougie Gang and the other folks that are doing this are very familiar with this case, quite
Right.
familiar.
More familiar
So
than the news channels.
I would say more familiar, probably more familiar than the defense at this point in time,
Okay. Okay.
because because he has so many other things going on.
Well,
So
that's a valid point because if you go back to when he was questioning Shirley about some things, it was obvious that he wasn't familiar with the nuances. I mean,
he's not
obviously he's a lawyer, he knows his craft, those things, but in terms of the intricacies, the nuances of of his client and their relationships, we as a collective know way more than he does.
right, and that's a public defender. If you have
Right, right.
your own counsel that you're paying for, that person he can live in the documents. He can live in the defense. He can live with what's going on. He has the
Mhm.
benefit of doing that. So that's all. That's kind of how I see it. And
Oh,
with the joining and with this new information, uh, I don't know if they are able to if they're able to include that, they're going to get a ruling on that. That's just going to have such a deleterious effect on his case, because that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy stuff for a jury to hear. I would like to see the cases actually, and I personally would like to see the cases split. I'd like to see the sexual assault stuff split uh, from the financial crimes accusations, so you can really drill down and you can
but it's
that way
not with
each.
it. It's not with it. Isn't it? It's still separate. It's a separate you're talking about the RICO and the
Yeah, but I think
strawberry and the PGR?
right, but I think some of that's gonna appear in that RICO. Some of it.
Well, it's gonna bleed over because of Melody Scretchen, the stolen car, the
Right.
sexual
So
assault victim's grandmother, that whole
correct.
thing.
Some of it's
That
gonna bleed
whole
over.
thing, yeah. Mhm.
We are talking about it. So a jury pool will go into the stand knowing all this extraneous information.
Well,
So or they potentially could.
I'm going to
So
say this. If you happen to get a jury notice and you get called for Ernest Williams' case, tell the truth. And the truth is that you know far too much and get yourself excused off. We don't want mistrials and all of those things because of all of those things. If you end up being questioned and you find yourself like, oh shit, there's Hoover and Wooten, I think they're going to question me for Nesto's case, just tell the truth and go home. You don't need to
well
be
you
on the jury.
you
That's
very
what I'm
well
going to say.
at the time you're called, you very well may not know anything about it, but
Well, once
the
you
instructions
realize
right
what's going on,
instructions have to be so definitive that you don't go home and actually research, do a quick search on something, because all this information could pop up.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
so and that's just kind of how I see it. And then of course it's a RICO, and the kind of the issue with RICOs is they get the jury can become overwhelmed with a RICO is like opening up a clock. This wheel is connected to this spring. This is and this cog is connected to this this wire over here. So it's after a while, a jury can become, or a person listening to that can become inundated and just go, okay, you know, he did it, or he
Right.
or they did
Right.
it,
Right.
and they're not. They kind of check out. They no longer focus on what's going on. So it's just an overloads. And but
But do
anyway,
you think that
we will
there's
see.
some benefits in the pylon, or is it better? Because, like, for instance, with Dunaway, with them still not deciding whether they're going to merge the case, like the PGR and the Strawberry with the rest of the RICO, right? With them, with Hoover arguing
PGR,
against.
PGR, PGR. What are you referring to with PGR?
PGR is the Amanda Johnson. They stole her notary seal. They stole her identity. The bad checks
Okay.
to the heating and air company at Mark Krall's house. The bad
Okay.
check
All right.
to that bank. Defrauding that bogus contract with Mark Krall. It's like 7 different charges on the Pine Grove Road. And then there's the identity theft against Shirley. So those
Okay.
were fruits of those indictments
Pine Grove
came
Road.
from the motion to suppress. Once the motion to suppress was fully flushed out, it produced 2 more indictments.
Okay. And that can be joined because that would be correct to do that.
But why is Hoover arguing against it?
Because he doesn't want to have to defend. He's got his hands full with the case as it is.
Okay, so Nesto's going to spend a long time in jail.
So it's just adding.
I'm just saying, like,
it's just adding. It's just more stuff to kind of get into to defend.
right.
So
So
I mean,
I'm not wrong for saying that Hoover is prolonging his process, because I feel like, I don't know that he's doing it maliciously. It's just that he has a very busy caseload, and Nesto, it's not getting any easier for him. This man's going to be doing his time in the county jail.
It's not. I think Counselor Hoover is just. I think he's just overwhelmed.
He's got a lot. They need to hire
really,
another couple of lawyers.
He really, really does. Or Mr. Williams' case literally is a case that you literally could do that one case, then that's it. It's got so many layers to it. There's so much stuff going on that that one case could take up a great deal of your time until it's
and they're estimating it's going to take 30 days. They would have to get that thing started by September, October at the latest to be done.
I think seating a jury will take a while. I think that once the celebrity aspect of this thing catches on, it's going to be standing room only. So I think 30 days is reasonable. It's very reasonable.
Do you think, let's say Will Wooten wins? We already talked about that. Will Wooten is running for appellate court judge. And it's May 19th. If he wins, he's got to clean up his desk before the beginning of the year. Do you think it's possible that he could handle the Nesto business, at least the RICO portion?
Yeah, I think that
it's out.
I think he will be. I believe that that Mr. Williams' case will be his focus, and he will have plenty of time to focus on that.
Because he could hand off that's like probably one of his most ripe cases. Like, if he's going to handle what he knows he could close and then hand off something that really needs to be worked on, he could be handing those things off. We'll know in the next month.
Focus on the task at hand. That election is going to be, that's a tough one. That's honest.
Right.
It's real talk. So focus on the cases that you got. I would like to see him at some point in time maybe run for something a little closer to home, like in the office that he's in. So anyway, we will see how that goes.
District attorney?
Yeah, why not?
Unseat his boss. Fonnie's not ready to give up her seat yet.
Her boss wasn't ready to give up his seat yet.
Yeah, but he has an affinity for his boss. I don't think he's going to do that.
Yeah, it's your boss. You're going to say that.
Oh,
And again, I heard him. I mean, he seems to be a very solid guy.
yeah.
And so, and you need that. And you got to, he's throwing his hat in kind of, or it's his first time doing this, running for something. So,
He's making
um,
a name for himself. Like,
yeah. So
oh, okay, well,
just
like,
keep,
yeah,
just keep at it. And there are other judgeships within the account. I mean, in that area, in the county and stuff. So I think for him to do.
absolutely. He's on the rise. He's
He
up.
is.
He's making his name known. Um. So okay. So
I would like to see him on the defense side, though. I would like to see him as a defense attorney.
he said he's done that before. Been there, done that.
I'd like to see him do some more of
But when I
that.
think I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I feel like I would hit my head up against a wall if I had like 10 Nesto clients. I don't know that I could do that. More so than it might be more interesting and exciting finding the receipts to prove my case.
When
If
you
I
make your
had
money,
if I had clients like Nesto, I don't know that it would make my job fun. I think that I would find that very frustrating dealing with people who are telling you just enough of maybe what they think you want to hear rather than the complete unadulterated truth to be able to provide them a defense versus on the other side of the prosecution investigating, pulling receipts, and putting a case for the state. Like, I don't know, kind of I think Will probably finds it more interesting to do that than the other,
I think
because
it's
if
interesting on both sides, but
I'm sure it can be, but
you
um
know,
it-
I think Brian Steele would disagree with you. A good defense attorney is worth his weight.
oh,
Don't
yeah, I
get
mean, someone who's able to
enamored
figure
with
out great strategies,
yeah.
absolutely. So
It's
I'm sure it's good on
it's
both sides.
it's
I don't know.
there's that.
Interesting. Okay. So what's your outlook for Nesto? Like, what do you think? Not Nesto personally, but just Nesto's case in general. Like, what do you like? Are you just kind of like, wow, it's getting worse? Like, what's your overall temperature read on what's going on?
I would be lying to say I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it was getting worse. I think we all can agree that every day is something seems to be something new with him.
Hmm.
Uh, but I am I am hopeful that his defense attorney will be able to present a very good defense for him. Because some of this stuff can be explained. Some of this stuff can be explained away, especially the financial crime. Some of that stuff can very easily be. I see how you could defend against it. I really do.
Mm. Like what? Like misunderstandings. We were in a relationship that was a loan, deal gone bad, things like that.
No, uh, like they gave me the money.
Yeah,
They gave me this money. Something as simple as that. They gave me the money.
they gave it to me.
They gave it to me.
Mm.
They gave it to me. They wanted me.
What if there are receipts? Um, what if there, I'm sure I'm assuming there are receipts. Joey, are you going to be going to vote in the statewide election? Someone's asking, I'm not asking, but someone is asking from the chat. Joey, are you voting for Wooten? Can Will count on your vote?
Did he count on my vote?
Will
Uh,
can Bougie Gang count on Bougie Gang vote? If there were someone from Bougie Gang running for office, is Bougie Gang safe to um assume that all Bougie Gang will vote and support? What do you think about that? You can
I,
answer it like that.
again, I think that he is. I think that young man, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's getting out. He's putting himself out there. He's asking for your vote. He's touching he's touching as many nodes and people as he can. So I wish him the best of luck. I
I
really
feel like
do.
he's top tier. I feel like he's so smart.
Uh, I
I
think
think.
I think he's doing a lot.
Mhm,
I think he's a good guy.
mhm,
But I'd like to see him on the defense. I like to see him on the defense side a little bit, which we
okay.
haven't seen.
Maybe you can recruit him.
Maybe I would like to see again. You need to set his sights a little bit closer to home. That I would
Mm.
like to see. But he's young, and I heard him on your show talking about how he ended up in Fulton County. So
Mhm.
Fulton County has a lot of work going on there.
So how does so Sonia, I feel like in the past couple of weeks, some of the awareness that I have regarding the subpoena, the Sonia subpoena from last year, is that some of that information, even the Instagram, I'm starting to think, I wonder, I wonder if some of that stuff is going to be useful for the sexual assault case versus I just don't know. I feel like the one receipt that I'm thinking of that we heard about in a phone call was when she said that there was an email from Erica King for legal services from a man from what's her name? Um I can't think of her now. April Holloway. That Erica King sent a April Holloway invoice, and I don't know if they had that or not, but that was one thing that was discussed in a phone call. And I don't know if they got that from her, but it appears that her Gmail was subpoenaed. So that could have been something that they ended up getting either from her or Ernesto's email if they ended up subpoenaing his. I would imagine if they subpoenaed hers, they subpoenaed his. Um, what are your thoughts on that stuff?
I think they got a treasure trove of information
Mm,
from those emails.
not a
I think
treasure trove.
I
Okay.
think they did. They got quite a bit, and of course, I don't think Miss Dorm is going to ever admit that, or maybe she doesn't even know. She's not even. She's
She
probably
may
not
not
even
have even put
smart
it
enough to
together
know.
yet. No.
No, no.
Like that just popped
So
in my head the other day. I was like, I remembered her saying, like, she was complaining about, "Yeah, there's nothing, the only thing there ever was the email and why would she send him an invoice for legal services?" And I was like, what? Say
yeah,
that one more
I think
time.
I think they're trying to muddy the water with a lot of mumbo jumbo, a lot of stuff that's irrelevant, and uh, again, that defense is the defense has. I mean, he has left so many breadcrumbs. It's very easy to go into all these different systems and find all kind of information. So
Oh my God.
um, it's not going to be.
There's
I
so
mean,
much
so
you can get.
there's so much out there, and
Mhm.
the coordination with in fact, the telephone calls where they're coordinating, they're literally coordinating about talking with this new information, this new assault case where he's trying to get a hold of his daughter, you know, to kind of not say anything, just adds to it doesn't look good. It just
Well,
doesn't look good.
there was another case that I got some discovery on, not associated with this, but I ended up getting, so they ended up sending me the discovery at the end of the trial. And what I got, it was like a 5,000 page document. They pulled this person's Instagram and you could see everything. The meta report, you could see everything. So from DMs to liking a post to posting, it's like a full accounting of your movements. Like every single
Yes.
movement, if you like something, if you post something, if you comment something, if someone reaches out to you, your DMs, everything will be there. So no matter what Sonia did, Meta still has it. So she could have deleted it from what the visual face of the page, but what Meta would pull is everything anyway. So you can't just because you're deleting something doesn't mean it's deleted. It's still there. When
Correct. And
they
that's what
pull it,
people,
it's there.
right. That's what people need to understand. That stuff, once it's on the net, it's there.
Right.
It's there. You think you're deleted it, but it's not. It can be,
Well,
it's there. It can be pulled. It can be
and the
found.
funny thing too about that is when you move to delete it, it's going to show that it was deleted from the face of the profile, or that message was deleted, but you're still going to see the message in the meta pulling of your data. When meta pulls your data, you'll see the message, you'll see what date you deleted it, and that it was
Yes.
deleted from the visual, like the external visual, but on the internal side it's still there. So you're not deleting it. Like you're just, it's, yeah. We can't see it, but they can see it. And they can
Correct.
see that it was, and it'll be documented on the report that goes to law enforcement that you tried to delete it. They,
Correct. And
not
they
that
can
you tried to delete it, that you actually deleted it.
subpoena that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can always get that. Yeah. So they can get that. But yeah, it's really, uh, now now my next guess is when the trial is going to start. I think Judge Dunaway kind of, with the with the World Cup coming, I think he made some very good points. It's, I mean, this guy he has been in jail almost. It's coming up on, is it 4 years now?
It'll be
Over 4
4 years.
years.
I feel like
Um,
based on Hoover's schedule and Wooten's schedule, but whether he wins or doesn't win, it's looking like end of third quarter, fourth quarter, because he's got the Sarah Grace Patrick trial coming up, and he's got a ton of other cases.
it's just not looking good. It's just not. This isn't good for him at all. And I think that this may serve prosecution as far as a plea,
Hmm.
but I don't know. But in my opinion, at this point in time, I would just go to court. I'd go to trial and fight it, and put people on the stand. Explain how this man got your money. Explain how this happened. Explain that's and then hopefully you got a sympathetic or a reasonably sympathetic jury.
I just
But
think when all of these, I don't know about everyone, but I know that there will be a number of professional, attractive people, or just professional in general, coming in to tell their story of their interactions with Nesto.
Mhm.
And I think that as many people who have been identity theft, scammed, and conned, they may, I don't know that it's going to go well for. Feel like those type of crimes, people have little to no patience and tolerance for them.
Again, a good defense can counter that because it's my opinion, and this is just me. Most of his financial stuff, or at least a lot of it, with the individuals, involved the individuals being somewhat crooked themselves. You can't get a car for 3,000. You can't get a Suburban for $3,000. You can't get for nothing. Here is a man who can't put a sentence together, who is not a person of trust. He's not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or a reverend, or a banker. He doesn't have the patina of office to allow you to allow you to see him as a trusted agent. And yet people are giving him this money. And I think that that's because they are looking for there's some sort of, I believe that it is some sort of nefarious activity that they are participating in, which is why they're doing it. And you just got burned. So you could, if you could make the case, again, make the case for that with a clean jury that is really paying attention. You can make the case for that which would minimize a lot of that because you can't explain it. How does a professional person who has all the bells and whistles that you just said, so how do you end up giving him $200,000? How does, with sight unseen, how does it come to that you just gave him $200,000?
Well, but see, the thing is, I'm gonna say this. I've
Well, I
watched
trusted him.
Uber a couple times in court, and I think that not in court, but on, on video, um, trying and questioning people. His overall demeanor, he seems so frustrated and like he's about to stroke out or have a heart attack. He's so aggressive in his style, his mannerisms. He looks like his eyes are about to pop out of his head. He looks like he's pissed or that he had a very high salt lunch. It is not going to go over well to a female audience. And if he's listening in the bushes, thank me for some jury consultation because he doesn't look he looks very frustrated. He looks overwhelmed. He looks pissed. And if he's going to go and make a victim into a potential co-conspirator, not actually, but kind of try to make them out to be like it's your fault, you were stupid, you were this, that, and the third. I don't think it's going to go over well. Like he can't blame the victims because Nesto is a con man. Like, okay, like that girl Melody Scretchen, she may have thought, well, I'm cute. He wants to get with me. Maybe he's gonna buy me a car. I mean, it didn't sound like it sounded like he was going to put her in a car. I don't know what she was thinking because it is Atlanta. Maybe there are men down there that buy cute girls cars. I don't know. But maybe that's what she thought. Like, if I give him what he wants, he's gonna give me a car.
Well, then
Maybe
you
she thought
have
he
to.
was like a nice older man who was going
Uh-huh.
to be a benefactor. Maybe that's what she
Okay,
thought.
then
There's
articulate that
nothing
on the stand.
illegal. Well, but there's nothing illegal with that.
No, there's not. But I can walk. I can walk. We can walk the dog on that. And by the time we're
Uh-oh.
done, that's not how it's going to come out. So
Mm.
you have, like, on the stand, if you question properly, you can draw out that, that, well, maybe I thought it was a little unusual that I could do this and get that for this, but hell, if you want to give me a Cadillac for $5, who am I to say no? So after a while, people start going, well, you have a hand in your own eyes. Now,
I think your phone's going out.
people though, you can't.
Okay.
There's a way. Again, you got to walk it out, and you have to have people kind of talk it out and show that that's what happened. But I believe that. I believe it in my heart of hearts that most of the people that he took advantage of in that way were trying to get something. They were trying to get a hookup, basically, and knew that, knowing that this can't be on the up and up. It can't be. It just couldn't be. And then they got taken advantage of, the reason why nobody ever really reported him, or they were very slow to report him. So that's
Someone
just
said,
how I see it.
Someone said, Joey, get closer to the east window. They said, get closer to the east window. The east window. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it just
I
sounded
don't know what
funny.
that means. Yeah,
I don't
what
know. I
that
guess if
means.
you're in an office building or something.
Am I fading in and
Okay.
out, or?
You were fading in and out a little bit. Joey, I
Yeah,
said,
I
can
think.
walk the. So let me ask you this. So I get what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, look, I get you. And Hoover's got to work with what he's got. Okay.
Right.
So
Or the
yeah, he's
answer could be,
gonna have to.
these people gave me the money. They wanted me to have it. They gave me this. I obviously never fulfilled any of the, based on your own words. You gave me money to do things, but never did it. So why did you keep giving him money?
Okay, let's pivot off that. What about the hot checks and the bigamy?
Well, the hot checks. See, those are harder to combat because those are
Deposit account
that's a
fraud,
thing,
all of that.
right?
Yeah.
A thing is a thing. That's a thing. Uh, identity theft is a thing.
Yes.
It's fairly
Yes.
easy to prove that. So there, like I said, you can mitigate some of it. I didn't say all of it. I said some of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's kind of how I see it. As a juror, I would, if I sat in a jury and you looking at what we know, some of the stuff I honestly feel that, okay, you kind of that's your fault. And some of the
Mm.
stuff I think that there is some identity theft. And I also will still maintain that the big fish in this whole thing is Erica. I still maintain that. The big fish is Erica. And she got probation. And she's gonna bury him. If the shoe were on the other foot, he couldn't help them bury her. I can guarantee you that.
He wouldn't have done it because he knows that she's got the T on him. He wouldn't have done it. She doesn't care that he's got T on her because they're not going to believe him because he's being looked at as a known liar, which I guess she lies too, but she got the deal first. She got
Well,
she got to the goods first, and that's it. That's it. That's all. And
yeah.
she says that he influenced her. She's using her woman card. She said she is going to help bring together the narrative that he manipulated and all of the things. So she
Unfortunately,
falls in line as a co-conspirator to bring the story together as far as him manipulating women and using them and convincing them to do things that they shouldn't have been doing, which would explain the email where she sent the phony invoice because he probably used that to get money from Shirley to pay for the fake legal services.
well, I'm sure she's going to say that. But,
Yeah, yeah, I
I
think
don't.
so too.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think she is the mastermind behind most of this. Well, behind some of this anyway. And he is more the face of it to go get. But she's the person that's doing the.
Yeah, but there are some things that were really just his benefit, other than maybe if he was part of the con of whatever they were doing, and he had Shirley reimbursing her for fake legal services. I don't know what would her benefit have been other than him paying her. And but it seems like a lot of the things that she was doing was in his interest. Now, she may have other crimes we don't know about, but the crimes that they prosecuted that involved Nesto all were going to yield Nesto something. She doesn't, they didn't prosecute her on anything that she benefited from other than working for him and maybe him paying her. But all of her showing up to his, pretending to be a lawyer, that was for him.
I think they shared in the. I think they shared in the. They shared in the proceeds or whatever they got. She was too valuable to his. She's too valuable to his operation. I think they shared in the proceeds. I really do.
And proceeds of what?
Of
Of
whatever funds that they were able to acquire or get out of people. I think they shared in that.
I guess we're gonna have to find out. We need more details. That's what I
Right.
know. We need more details. We need more of the facts of the case.
Or because he had no hold on her. He had no. What hold did he have on her to make her do these things?
We don't know.
Right. So I think she shared in the proceeds. Can't make someone do legal work for you. I
No, well,
mean, do
he paid
fake
her.
legal
He
work.
may have paid her. She sends him an invoice. He grifts the money from Shirley. Here's your
Of
payment.
course. Of course. Absolutely.
But he benefited from her winning those, or going and fighting that dispossessory.
Yes.
He benefited from those things. If she didn't do those things, those would have been less charges she would have had.
Right. I don't disagree with you on that.
Hmm.
Don't disagree at all. And let's see what else we have. What else do we have going on? We got that. There's a time horizon we have to deal with, and that's pretty much it. Nothing new other than those new
So
charges.
yeah, I mean, it could be 2028 at this point. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, 2028, I would have been like, no, no way. But these years are flying by. I feel like we all went to college together now. This has gone on for a long time. Um, I totally see. Maybe if we can get this in before the end of the year, the RICO, if they don't join the cases, he still has 2 more cases, which should be light work, the strawberry and the PGR, and then the sexual assault. I don't know when that's gonna, that could be, it could be 2027, 2028.
You're right. It could be because at this point in time, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I would have told you 2 years ago this would have been done.
You might have told me 2 years ago this was gonna be done.
Be done
Well,
by now.
we were still waiting, but
We're still waiting.
I don't
Yeah.
think we knew back whenever you first started calling in that we would be here, like, we would have
No.
gotten to here. I would have been like,
No.
"No, no way."
None of us did. No one thought this would take this long.
And even right now, it's April. We can't even see before September or October. So it being April, we're already looking from second quarter all the way into potentially fourth quarter to maybe get him in before the holidays.
Yeah, maybe.
If he can get in. And if fate would have it and Will Wooten wins, prosecutor gone, he's going to have a new prosecutor. But that doesn't mean that that should delay anything because everything should be ready to go. But um, yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like this
But
year
we
for Nesto is pretty much over.
right. But I do.
You know,
I don't believe this is going to start this summer. I think this
no,
summer is
I
pretty
don't think
much
it
toast.
can't. He's on Roberto he submitted his LOA and he had like 2 or 3 weeks off and he has a month blocked for the Sarah Grace Patrick. So I don't like based on his schedule to me it was September where he may be free, but I don't know what his other case schedule is. But based on the LOA submittal, it was looking like what made sense was September. Also based on what Will's got going on. It was giving it was giving September, like the
Okay.
first kind of openings that maybe there could be. But I don't know if they have other cases coming up. I mean, they have other cases, but I don't know if they have any other trials.
Well, we don't see all their calendars, but it is. Yeah, I don't think this is happening. This. Yeah, it may be. Yeah, fall
Mhm.
or first
Yeah.
part of winter before this even
Mhm.
starts.
If he's
It's
lucky.
but it's going to be standing room only. It's going to be big.
Mm. They're
Going
gonna
to
have
be
to get the
big.
big courtroom. It's gonna be big, right?
It's going to be big.
It's really
She got
big.
that right. She got that right.
Oh my god. Okay. So anything else? Like I don't know. It does seem pretty it's pretty down. It's like it's oh well, Nesto. But I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Joey. I don't feel sorry for him at all because I feel like people warned him, people told him to stop talking. I think that he maybe wasn't telling his lawyer enough information to proceed expeditiously and he this is the fruits of the seeds that he's planted. He planted the seeds of delay and the seeds of all of like you're in I just think he's where he's at right now because this is what it gave. This is what he gave, and this is what it gave, and this is why you're in Nowheresville. You cashed in 2 tickets to Nowheresville, and you're sitting at the jail.
Yeah, well, I just want to get. I'm just looking forward to getting this case on the road. Because I still believe that it is for both the accused and the victims that you want to get a resolution uh, as soon as you possibly can.
Mm.
So I don't know who advised him, but he
You
should
know
have.
who advised him? Sonia Durham Waller. Are you
Which goes
laughing?
back, which yes, I'm laughing because it goes back to which goes back to what my original statement is that he is not a very bright person,
No.
and so I'm telling you that Erica King is the mastermind behind all that.
I
This
think
guy
we're going
does
to see the
not.
trial. If we're lucky, it's going to end up on Court TV or Law and Crime. There is an interest in this case. The fact that there were 3 media entities that showed up outside of Blabbermouth was a good sign. The fact that there are 3 television stations that showed up, that was a good sign. So as long as that continues to happen and there's an interest, um, it will be. Atlanta News
Yeah,
First broadcasts stuff all the time. I don't want to have to rely on what's, you know what I mean, like, look, I think you guys know what I'm saying. You guys have been, so if Atlanta News First or WSB TV, I feel like it would be Atlanta News First before anybody, because they're the ones that pretty much show trials when something of interest comes up. Um, I think they'll be there.
oh, they will be. They will
Yeah.
be because again, like I said years ago, this has got. I'm literally saying years ago. That's accurate. Is that this is it's got everything to it. It's scandal, celebrity, sex. It's got everything that pulls the eyes to it. So it's going to be for DA Wooten. It's going to be very big for him.
Yeah.
People are going to tune in to see this, and uh, and for the defense Hoover, uh, it's going to be interesting to see what his defense is on this one. It's going to be interesting to see how he, hope he has his Wonder Woman bracelets on. It's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be a
Mm-mm-mm.
tough one for him. But Will Wooten's going to make his bones on this because this is going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to see it. And for Mr. Williams, it just seems to get to me, it just seems to get worse. The longer, you've got nothing but time to just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse for him. So, um, and I don't know if he's going to take, and I don't think any deal is going to be any deal is basically. I think it's going to end up being a life sentence for him. Just a deal.
For him, yeah, because
So
not just because he's in his 60s, but yeah, if he gets 15, 20 years, we don't know what his longevity, his family longevity looks like, and also what type of health he's in. Um, and I mean, I've looked at statistics of people in jail or prison and what the average life expectancy is for like long-term prisoners, like people doing like 20 years and over. And depending on their age, I mean, if you're young, obviously you're more likely to get out. But if you're middle age, like in your 50s, like it, I mean, you're you may not leave in great condition, you may not leave alive, you know what I mean?
right, right.
Like if you're
It's
if
just
you're
going to get
50 going into prison, it's not it's not amazing for you, especially with things like heart disease, cholesterol issues. Like if you have just the regular middle age kind of maladies, prisons are not really set up to do preventative care like that and to really take care of you for like your over 50 type of care to keep you
Yeah.
healthy. And it's more so, oh, your kidneys are failing. Okay, let's see what we're going to do. And you might have a raging case of diabetes before you ever really get help, to find out that maybe you're running high blood sugars because you're not necessarily getting those once a year, once every 6 month kind of workups. So people are not going to maintain excellent health, and the diet isn't good. It just, all of those things. You're just there's many different reasons why it's not a place to thrive.
No, it is not. And again, I don't. From the looks of these cases, he's facing even a negotiated. It's decades, and yeah. So his best. I don't know. I would say his best chance is to fight this in court. Is to go to trial and fight it.
They're saying chin up, Nesto.
But yeah, the
I'm sorry.
and I'm more or less, and really what gets me is what I'm looking at is the capital sex sex offenses.
Those are bad.
Those are bad. Those are the ones you
Very
can't really
bad.
walk away. Yeah. So you get picked up on one of those, you're not going to really walk away from that. So that's the tough one. So yeah.
Well, like I said, unfortunately, this is, no matter what, at the end of the day, Nesto, it's like, Nesto, it feels like this is your life, Nesto. And it feels like this is kind of the sum and total of his life. Like, they are going to do a "This Is Your Life" presentation on him, and he's going to have to reconcile and deal with this, that this is what happened. These are people that you crossed paths with, and these people don't have anything good to say.
They don't. But again, when you bring the folks in, the spectacle will be bringing people in. Miss Strawberry, I can't believe that she did not know this was going on. Some of these things, I still have issues with that. It's just, he has so many enablers around him that that's what really concerns me. And I think they've put him in this box, and he is. It's going to be tough for him to get out.
Look, let me ask you, if they ask Shirley that type of a question, I think it'll be, I don't know if Shirley is going to take the tissue out and kind of go with, he had a violent temper, and I just learned how to compartmentalize, and I minded my own business.
That is a technique.
Bloop.
That is a way. Although I don't think she will be able to. Although it's going to be strange hearing that coming from her.
I think she's very like dignified, and kind of, when she said she didn't know how he bought the car, like, it was kind of like, I don't know, he went and bought a car.
I think that's more. I think you were right. That's it. I think her testimony will be essentially, I didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
I had no idea what he was doing.
If my husband goes and brings something home, even a car, whatever, I know my husband has credit. He's got his own money. He's got a job. He's got, like, I'm not going to, like, how did you pay for that? What is this? What is that? Like,
is that, are you honest? Are you really?
I'm not going to do
really?
that. No.
Are you being honest? Really? You wouldn't say, how when did you buy that? How much you pay for that?
No,
where did you buy it?
If my husband came home with a new something,
a new car,
he has
a new car,
job, he has money, and he has credit. I would never assume that he used my name. Like that would
No,
be weird. So
no.
my first assumption would be that he paid for all of the, like, I wouldn't even ask. My assumption would be, because I know my husband, what he would have done. Like I would never ask those questions.
Okay.
If
I would,
I would be sitting there just like Shirley to find out that
I
there's some
would,
bullshit was going on, because
I
I
would,
wouldn't ask.
I would posit you're in the minority of wives out there.
Well, it's sad. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have to ask. Would your wife have to ask you a bunch of questions about how you financially do something? Are you not a man
No,
of means?
no,
Don't you have
but
credit? Don't you have money? Don't you have like a job? Like, you know what I'm
that,
saying? Like, why
that
would she
doesn't,
ask you those things?
the questions would still be asked. If nothing more than for, did you get a good interest rate? Have you filed
Of
insurance
course,
yet?
we've got good credit, babe. You know
You
we're,
know,
you know,
where did you get it? Um, some basic questions would be asked. Uh, so you would, there are questions that are going to be asked when they're large, when they're, again, now he's a businessman and he worked in cars. So having new vehicles was nothing to see at their household, I'm assuming.
right, because
So
he was running cars anyway,
running
but
cars. So
yeah.
maybe that's not a good example because new cars came and went in that household. But he was using her money, and maybe she just gave him her check, which
It's
some
I
people
think
operate that way.
I think she had 2 accounts, and she was either maybe transferring money for her spend money, but I think he had some sort of an account that he paid bills out of, but I what they didn't mention when Hoover was questioning her was that I think her money was funding that account that he had. Someone's asking, wouldn't she question his tax filings? Shirley owed money to the IRS and to the state of Georgia. So I don't know that
Correct.
she would have asked about tax filings because she needed to file her own. I'm just saying.
It it appeared
She had
that
her own garnishments from
it
the for taxes.
it appeared that he parachuted into that relationship as the financial guru that understood how money worked better than she did, and he
Right.
took control of financial things and said, don't you worry about this. You just tell me what you want, and I'll make sure that you have it.
I think she was
And
looking for some financial rescue, and
right,
I
and
think
so
he
that's how he
thought
operated.
he could do that, and he is definitely was not the one.
That's how he operated. Now the question was, would my wife ask me where I got a car? Here's the honest answer. If we had been evicted out of multiple houses,
Oh God, stop it, Joey, stop.
yes, she would ask me where I got the car.
Okay, but that's not like I said, if
He's exactly the same.
my husband, like we don't have that with problems. That's not
There
our
you go.
situation. And I'm not
That's not most people's
Ernest
situation.
Williams is weird. You know what I mean? That's a whole strange relationship over
That's
there.
the whole point.
Okay, I hear you. Okay, you made your point. Shirley should have questioned it, but she didn't.
There.
She may have just known I'm
Hello. You there?
married to somebody. I'm here. You can't hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Joey, I'm here.
Hello.
Joey. Wait, hold on, Joey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Joey?
Hello.
Joey, Joey, we can hear you.
You
Can you
there?
hear us? Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. You guys, we lost Joey. Joey wifed and snatched his You guys are so funny.
Okay, I'm here.
Joey,
Can you
hey,
hear me?
okay,
Okay, I'm
yes,
back. I'm back. I'm back.
okay. They said your
What
wife
is?
turned off the Wi-Fi. Mrs. Sea Dog turned off the Wi-Fi. Okay, so
Yes.
that's a good point. She knew. I mean, I don't know. That's such a hard question because most of us are not married to con men or not dealing with con men. Most of us are not Erica Kings. Like I'm going to just go on a limb and say the majority of Bougie Gang, we're not a bunch of Erica Kings and we are not in relationships with a bunch of Nestos. That's just
That-
so this is a little bit of kind of uncharted territory because to the degree that this man was swindling and conning, most of us have not seen this type of shenanigans before and operate in trust financially with our spouses and significant others. Me personally, I don't feel like I have to be questioned with for a purchase, and I don't question about purchases. You know what I mean? They get paid for, and that's it.
well, again, that is true. So again, getting these people on the stand to kind of paint the scenario of how he operated would go a long way in as far as convincing a jury that he either did or did not do it. So that's how I see it. But I would put people up and say, okay, explain to me how, how did this happen? How did you normally pay bills? How did and once you see that process, you go, okay, now I understand or don't understand how a person was able to uh, financially take advantage of you, so to speak. So, but you have to show people how that actually worked. But if I went to you and if I asked you for $100 and you gave me $100 on Monday, and then I came to you on Tuesday and said, hey, give me another $50, and you give it to me on Tuesday, and then at the end of the week you go to the police and you say I'm stealing your money. I go, no, you kept giving me the money. I kept asking for it and you kept giving it to me, or you never gave me time to pay it back. So you know,
Well, this is the same story though that 25 other people are saying, and they're calling that a pattern of racketeering activity because it's a problem. They all went and filled out police reports. They all went out and filled I mean, I get what you're saying and I hear you and that's valid. But because that is a problem and combined with the hot checks, the financial fraud, the misrepresenting, the identity theft, all of those things, forged documents, all of that, it's just a pattern of racketeering activity.
oh, of course, of
And
course.
then I think when some of these people walk in, when you have a Gail Bickham, who's a very attractive lady, Scretchen, attractive woman, Shirley, attractive woman. I don't know what these other ladies look like, but when you have women who come in, put together, hair done, beautiful suits, they walk in, they're professional. He wrote me a bad check. He lied to me. He did this. He did that. You got men coming in well dressed, well spoken. We had a deal. We were supposed to do this. He told me this. I gave him that. He never, I've come to find out he sold me a car that belonged to somebody else. All of these things, it's going to look really bad. It's going to look bad.
It can, but you can also make the point that these people were investing. They were investing in me, investing in my companies,
Oh
and
my God.
and the investments didn't work out. That's how it works.
Not when I bought a car. Not if I go to Facebook Marketplace and I buy a car from somebody, I expect there to be clear title when I go to the title office, and I expect the vehicle to be lien free. And I expect that when I gave you $10,000 that I'm going to get that there is no lien or any sort of other lien holder on this property and I can get clear title. That's what we agreed on. And when I called you to tell you that there was a lien and I could not get clear title and I wanted my money back, you stopped taking my phone calls.
Yeah, that is that, and that's kind of what he was doing.
Yeah.
Became hard to find. I'm out of town. I'm at the. I'm in another state.
Young
I'm
Dolph just died. I'm in Memphis.
yeah. I'm in Memphis. Yeah. He was kind of hiding and running. Uh, I mean, like, again,
I have a meeting with Charles Barkley in 10 minutes. I'm gonna have
even
to call you
even
back.
even more of a reason to tell your story on the stand, because it now comes from, now you've humanized that story.
Are you
So,
recommending that Nesto sit in the box?
you know,
You think Ernest Williams? Are you telling me you think Ernest, them folks, I don't know them folks, needs to testify?
I would, there's a there's a part of me
I'm sorry.
that, that likes horror movies, and that would love to see him in the box. But but so yeah, there's a part of me that would just, yeah, that would be a popcorn moment. That would literally be a sit on the floor, Indian
Oh my
style,
God, guys. Ernest is
just
getting on the
focused
stand
on
after
that.
lunch.
And yeah, that would be must see viewing, must see TV. I think the Nielsen ratings, whatever,
Oh
would
my
just go off the
God.
charts. Everybody, all eyes would be on that to
Oh
see
my
that.
God. They're
Uh,
gonna have they're gonna have no placeholders on the line. It's going to be overflow room. They're gonna have to put it in the YSL courtroom. Oh my
yeah.
God. It's going to be a
So the
mess.
answer, so the answer is yes. There's a
Yes.
part of me that would love to see that, but I know that that's not going to happen. But I would love to see it,
Wow.
because that's not a little Woody. You're not going to get that kind of show. You'd get something
No.
completely different,
Oh my
and
God.
I would love to see that.
It's gonna be a
Think
crash
it's-
out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It'd
I
be a
just
crash
just
out.
just the victims coming up testifying it's going to be quite enough. It's going to be really interesting and sitting and watching him at the table, looking at them, uh, you know, acting as if he has nothing. Of course, his demeanor is going to go that you're obviously lying on me. I didn't do anything to you.
I mean, he acted up when Shirley got on the stand.
Correct. Or try to.
She lied. She lied.
Trying to.
I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh my God. Joey, is there anything else? Have we covered everything?
I think we have. I think we've covered. I think we have. Is
What do
Bougie
you
Gang
think
happy?
about what about Dunaway's judicial case management? Is he just like does he have a lot of cases too? Is he just like he's like, no, I don't want to talk about anything else. We're just gonna stick with this right now. Like,
Yeah, we don't know what the judge has on his docket, but he has going
yeah,
on. I'm
yeah,
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he has a full dance card himself, and
mm,
he's trying to manage that. And if you don't manage your docket like anything else, like meetings or
yeah,
anything else at work, someone will manage it for you, and it's
right.
not going to be what you want. So I think he's trying to gain some control, because this stuff is dragging on. It's dragging. It's just really dragging. So he's trying to move this stuff along, and it's more difficult by having these major uh, events in the city that shut everything down, and then
Right.
holidays and what have you. So I think the World Cup really kind of throws a huge monkey wrench in that judicial schedule. It
Well,
really does.
also the judges, if there is some data for Fulton County that tells you like I can't give you the exact but it's kind of like the judges and how long is the average case type of thing. There's like some information, but also Fani has those cases that are aged. Like everybody's answering questions about the age of some of these cases all the way to the jails, right? So everybody's having to answer for the age of their caseload. So the judge is answering for the age of his docket. Everybody's having to answer and do their part to move these cases along. So Nesto could be one of the oldest cases on his docket load right now. So he probably would like to see that one off of his list of aged cases.
I'm sure he does, because
Mhm.
it's an old case.
Yeah.
and their case is older than that. So, yeah, but I'm certain,
And because also he's in custody too, so that
right?
makes it even worse.
And their
Um,
case is older than that are not as complex as that.
mm,
So, because that's a fairly complex case with all the
it's
little things going on with it.
right.
So,
The case complexities and the defendant and his shenanigan complexities. It's a
so,
cluster,
we believe. So
right?
we need to get it. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to see anything. I agree with you, Fran. I think that we're looking at, fall, winter before this thing even. I'd be shocked if it happened before that.
Yeah, I don't think it can. I think we're going to go through the summer. Maybe we'll hear some Winfrey stuff, possibly, just because. Um, but if Hoover's busy, I really thought Joy Walker was the attorney of record on the sexual cases, but I guess not. I don't know. I thought she was supposed to be handling the essay cases,
I
but
really
maybe.
wasn't. And I'm really not following the essay cases as much as the other stuff. Because the essay cases are a little different, and
Mhm.
obviously, uh, they're not as they're not as. I mean, again, those are capital. Those are serious cases. So
Mhm.
hard. My again, the defense for those. That's why I wish again they should be that he should actually have another. He should have another. He if my in my mind he should have another PD. I mean
He should
for
probably have 2 lawyers, right? He should,
yes for these
because
sex
he has
crimes,
2 complex cases.
right? So he should have somebody completely different for that can
Mhm.
focus on that and actually provide a comprehensive and thorough defense for him on that.
Yeah, because that could be a life without parole.
Oh yeah,
Because let me tell you this, and you guys remember we watched a little bit of Cash Out, what was televised, and so they said that Winfrey offered, um, I don't know about everybody on the case, but there was an offer for 25 years, and then they ended up getting 70 years. They decided to take its trial and got 70, but there was a
mm,
25-year offer, and he ended up basically getting 70. I think the other guy, everybody got a huge sentence. I think the mother, I don't know, did she get 25 years? Hers was not as bad, but it was still pretty awful.
right. But
Um,
she's also older, so it's a very
right,
it's a life. It's basically a life sentence, even if you
right.
make it out. I mean,
She'll be like 75.
right.
So that was a Winfrey Hoover collab. That guy Arnold, I forget Arnold's last name, but Arnold, the guy who wears the flower on his jacket, and Hoover, and I forgot who the other PD is. Well, well,
Anna,
well. Okay, yeah. Hopefully they don't. I hope they don't assign Arnold, because Arnold. Mm-mm. I don't know why I can't think of his last name, but the guy Arnold. You guys know the one with the Jerry curl, the tall guy with the Jerry curl and the bright orange backpack. You're laughing. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking. He
your
looks like a newscaster. He looks like a
your,
news guy
your
in
description
Atlanta.
is your description is
The tall guy with the Jerry curl who wears flowers on his lapel. Yeah. Hmm. He's a Kappa man. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, it's not helping.
it's
It
going
did.
to be.
It's yeah.
And yeah, and by the time we have I don't know how much of Ernesto is going to be left after when these cases start. I mean, he's kind
It's.
of he's in that jail. I mean, he's willing away.
Do you imagine your only visitor is the meddler? His support that comes to visit him is someone who is nicknamed the meddler,
Who is the meddler?
blabbermouth,
Oh, okay.
the blabbermouth blogger.
Oh, I don't know if that blabbermouth blogger is going to be visiting him anymore. I don't know if that's gonna
Really?
that may change. I think that may change.
Really? Why? Do tell.
I don't know. I think that this last drop may have may have changed how she views him.
Mm, interesting.
Uh, so we will see. And we're not seeing those calls anyway, those visits anyway.
We will one day.
Yeah,
One day it'll come out.
probably 2 years from now, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know what in Miss Durham, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's
I heard she was on YouTube today running her mouth to blabbermouth, so I didn't I was, I didn't hear it. The chat told me, so I guess there's
okay.
some I got that intel from the chat, but I am
I'm
not notification gang over there, so I have no idea, but my wonderful chat that stays in the know. We keep all of each other in the know, and they told
is
me
that
that apparently Sonia was out on these streets talking to Blabbermouth earlier.
okay?
So, we'll figure it out.
All right. So she is. I'm assuming defending him, uh, which is what which is what she does. And somebody's got to be in your corner. But yeah, I don't know. Again, every day or every week, there's like something new. I don't know this. If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. Remember the old saying. But every every week or every couple of weeks, there's something. His case just gets it's just more and more and more and more and more piled on.
Um, I guess Bible Lady alluded to her having disdain for him now, but we know how Blabbermouth moves. Yesterday, she stated that she would show the daughter's video in her members after court. So I don't know if that happened or not.
Mm.
I think Blabbermouth loves Sonya and loves her proximity to be able to cash in on that relationship for content. And Sonya will filibuster her at Panera, and Sylvia will be back visiting Nesto in short order. That's my prediction.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that relationship's running kind of thin.
It's not built on substance anyway. So, but I think
That is
Sonya is
that's
very
true.
good at her filibustering, and she is going to put Sylvie to sleep talking ad nauseum about Nesto and the system and a black man, and it's a brig, and he didn't have a chance, and these people are lying, and it's civil, and it's this and it's that and it's the other thing, and I thought we were the sister wives and all of those things. Don't back out on him now. I think this is also another thing. I think Sylvie is trying to see her way to getting maybe trying to get her audience back, and she'll flip-flop whichever way the wind blows to get people to watch her channel.
Mm. That
So
is
if
that
she
is
has to kind of turn against Nesto, appear to turn, there's no way she can turn on Nesto and maintain a relationship with Sonya. Okay?
well, yeah.
Sonya's not going to have anything to do with her if she no longer is on the Nesto support train. Her and Sonya will be over. That's it.
You don't have a very high opinion of Sonia, do you? Of Sylvia, do you?
What do you mean a high opinion? I just have a opinion. I don't
You have
I just
it's not a very good one.
I just feel like I know what I've seen over the past 3 years,
Mm.
and I just calls it how I see it. If people are behaving badly, then that's not my fault.
And it is not your fault. It
Yeah.
is
I
you
mean,
just like you
I
call it
don't
like you see it.
know if you could get a collective of people together to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's many people who have many stories of things that they have witnessed that are questionable. I would challenge anyone to, even any other content creator, find at least 2 or 3 things of similar quality. Most people, there's nothing there. This woman seems to have 8 million stories every 5 steps. So that's just, I'm just, no, I don't have a high opinion. I don't. My opinion is just based on what I've experienced, and what I've experienced has been bizarre.
Mm. I knew you'd see things my way. Okay.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
We ran that rabbit right back. Oh.
I will acquiesce to that one. No, I do not have a high opinion. I'm gonna just, it's Friday. I'm not trying to fight
It's
it. No,
okay.
I have a very low opinion of that person.
Okay. It's okay. The but yeah, I think that yeah, this again, every day is something new, is more material, another another piece of information that just, and it's all bad. There's nothing good about it, which again, which makes me question, how has this person been out here in the streets, moving the way he moved, doing what he was doing, and I don't know if it, and no one picking any of this up.
It's the the toolkit, his carry-on bag toolkit. Okay.
What straight man drives around with a toolkit? I heard, and I distinctly, I think
He
I
works
did
for a
hear
niche unit of DoorDash. It's a niche DoorDash unit.
who drives around with a sex kit of toys in their car. Who does that?
He was trying to be Silver Fox slash Kevin Samuels slash Mr. Lover Man slash I don't know, Steve. Maybe he thought he was Steve Harvey. I don't know. I don't know who he thought he was. I think he thought he was man about town in a Rolls Royce, doing whatever he thought that he wanted to do, and making stuff happen. But I don't know.
Uh, that would certainly be a indicator of something amiss, I would think. To any woman, I mean, my limited experience, I would think. So, interesting,
Mm.
interesting man.
Whew. Okay, Joey. I think we talked this one all the way out.
We have, as we
We talked
always
it all the
do.
way out. Yes, we fully expanded on, and I think people like the you know, the not so much the banter, but they like the back and forth. They like that, you have your views, you have your opinions, and at the end of the day, the main thing is Nesto is in a pickle, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's
No,
really screwed. He's very
no,
much
he
giving
is.
screwed.
He is. He is. The issue is, again, I think he is, I believe that he has certainly done, some of this.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of just how bad is it going to be? And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So even if you're trying to mitigate some of this stuff, other stuff pops up, which makes it, there's a saying, it goes, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times it's enemy action, So when you start getting these triangulations of the same thing happening over and over again, it's you.
Yeah.
It's
him.
It's him. It's you.
It's these dangerous liaisons. It's the lying. It's the manipulating. Even if, like you said, some of these things could be explained and some of these people could be partially at fault, at the end of the day, everybody didn't get on a party line and decide to hit the police stations at the same time. there has been a pattern over long periods of time of people that he has offended and that he has that he's done a lot to, taken their monies, lied to them, manipulated them, and he's done so much little stuff it's turned into a big huge problem.
It has. You're right, and I think that's a very good point. It's had a cumulative effect. He's just
Right.
over time.
It's like death by a
it's
thousand cuts.
Yeah, it just snowballed into this.
He is
And-
death by a thousand cuts financial division or scammers edition. That he has offended 1,000 people out here, even though they're little tiny paper cuts, they're little tiny this. It really should be nothing, but because there's 1,000 of them, the body, like, you're just done. You have killed the body.
He certainly has, or
Yeah.
it certainly appears to be that way.
Mhm.
And so, I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes,
Mhm.
nor would I want anyone to have done or be accused of things that he has been accused of doing. So, we will see how it's going to turn out in the end.
Absolutely.
But be at the trial. You have to. I want the witnesses there, and I want to hear them. I want to hear their stories.
I'm sure they're coming, and nobody's scared of Nesta.
Or
They're
not
coming.
now. Not now.
Yeah, they're coming. I'm sure a lot of these people are going to show up. Mark Crawl and all those people.
Yeah. I think Erica will have the best story.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, she's gonna really have a really, because she's that talented. She's gonna have how much of her story is going to be true, I don't know, but she's going to have a good one.
Well, under penalty of perjury and a lengthy prison sentence, she better keep it cute.
No, she's going to tell you.
She's going to be at the penitentiary right there with him.
I think she's going to tell you what all the things that they did together. I mean, she's certainly going to tell you that, and she's going to say that. I think she's going to say he forced her, or he, manipulated her into doing these things, or I was just following orders, which is always this kind of BS thing that people say. But I'm looking forward to hearing her, particularly her. It's just a couple of people, her, Miss Strawberry. I do believe they'll end up pulling in Dion and what's his friend?
Mr. Lamont, Mr. Dunbar.
Yeah, Lamont. I think they may get pulled in.
Hopefully he's not like in Madagascar or Zanzibar or the Bahamas.
Actually he is. He's in Madagascar, College Park, Atlanta, probably. Just like Nesto was always in Tennessee or someplace else when you were looking for him.
Right.
So yeah, I'm certain.
He's in Memphis.
Yeah, I'm in Madagascar Street.
Right.
Atlanta,
I'm at Madagascar and Campbellton Road. I'm on Old National in Zanzibar. That man is entertaining. Look, at one thing, Nesto is entertaining. Okay,
Josh Jones.
That's one thing that we do know. Jones, and Jones. Oh my God!
Another line of questioning. Jones, and Jones.
Can you believe it?
Oh man, this is too good. Maybe that's why they're dragging it out, because it's so good.
It's too much.
It is too much.
Anyway, well, Joey, thank you so much for coming up and meeting with us tonight, and
my pleasure, Francoise.
Talking to us and giving us your point of view. Okay, we love it. Absolutely,
my pleasure.
Okay, Joey, you take care. Have a wonderful weekend, Enjoy, and we will talk to you again soon.
I intend to. You too. Everyone be safe. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay. All right. You take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, your girl is officially tired. Oh my God. That was a great conversation. I enjoyed that very much. Anybody who comes to the comments and says, it's not an interview, it's a conversation. Okay. We were having a conversation. So you talk back and forth. Okay. Anywho, thank you, Joey, for coming up. Our segment called Joey's Unpopular Opinion. Okay. Dang, I missed it. No, you didn't miss it, baby. Replay is real. Replay is real. You're going to have to call Lamont. His name shows up in too many places. Lamont might end up having to show up. Yeah. He might have to. Guys, I am Tad. Sis Tad. Okay? Sis Tad. And that's it. That's all. Thank you so much, Black Swan. Wouldn't she question his tax file? Oh yeah, Shirley had garnishments herself. Shirley was behind on her taxes. Purple hearts. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys, everybody who contributed, everybody who hit the thumbs up. I don't know. Hopefully y'all hit the thumbs up for me. Let me see how we did on likes. Y'all did amazing on likes. Okay. Okay, likes. Okay. Thank you very much, likes. Okay, Bougie Gang came through. Everybody hitting the like button and then some. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. You have no idea. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Ma'am is tired. And who's ma'am? Me. This ma'am. Okay. I am exhausted. That's lots of talking. Okay. You guys have a wonderful evening. I will catch y'all tomorrow and we'll get caught up on some more stuff. Okay. If you're in members and you did not catch the member live, we did do a member live this morning. So if you didn't catch it, go catch it. Okay. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
You can sleep. Side hand, I'll be that too. Because chicks are young and this chick is old. So I'll be the side hand. Thank you, Reggie, for correcting her. I will be the side chick. The mistress, the side chick, the hand. It's whatever. I mean, name calling is what y'all do. That's
Okay, let me do one more. Thank you so much, Butterfly. I appreciate you, sis. Very much appreciated.
But me, I get dogged out all the way around. Nastiness, though. I'm telling folks, man, I ain't did nothing with these folks, man. Hold on, no.
What's your name, Miss Silver? What's your name, Miss Silver? You know what? You know what?
What?
It's funny that you said that you just brought back some memories. So when you said that, when I told you, I think on a couple phone calls back, remember I told you, I said, you know what they call you right here? Yeah, you said what? And I said they call you nasty nestos, right? However I said it. So they don't took my voice.
I can speak to that. As to 23 CP 215407 at our last hearing, the state did move to null process or to decline that particular case. We will just revive that case in an indictment.
What's your name, Miss Silver?
They call me Nasty Nesto or something.
What's your name, Miss Silver?
They call me Nasty Nesto or something. I ain't do.
You know what?